Okay, for this next activity, we're going to draw our hand, and we're going to practice something called blind contour. The reason it's called blind contour is because you don't get to look at your paper till you're all done. Okay, you'll be looking at your subject. In this case, we're going to draw our hand, and we're going to use that same type of line and focus that we just used on the previous activity when you were doing the Picasso upside down man to draw our hand. So what you will do is you're going to set up the way I'm set up is I have my paper here kind of behind me, and I'm going to turn in my seat, and I'm going to place my hand just in a comfortable natural position, and then I'm going to start drawing. Okay. All right, so I'm going to start with the wrist, and again, I'm not going to look at the paper because it's going to look weird. Just accept the weirdness. It's okay. Okay, notice I'm drawing slowly. I'm not sketching. You're going to do this with pen. That's a good question. The reason is because you're not looking at your paper, so you're not going to have to bother to erase anything. And you'll notice that as I'm drawing my hand, I'm not doing the outline and then going back to draw the details because I won't know where to draw them. So you're going to draw the details as you're drawing your hand. So just like you were drawing Picasso's man before and you were trying to figure out how long is this line, which direction does this go, that's what you're doing. Forget you're drawing a hand. Forget the subject and just observe and draw what you see. I'll probably end up going off the paper. If you go off the paper, it's alright. So I've drawn my thumb, now I'm going up and drawing the index finger. And it's going to look weird and monstrous, it's alright. The tricky part is when you see, when it's foreshortened and you see, some of the top and the bottom of the fingers. Shh. Alright, just pay attention. Thank you. I feel like I'm going to go off the paper. And with this exercise, it's really challenging you have to really focus, so it's really difficult to talk while you're doing this. Your attention, please. I let you guys talk a lot, so when I'm teaching, I'd appreciate some attention. See, I had to stop, and I stopped looking for a second because I was looking up at you all. Alright, now the side of the hand. Back in this right now I'm drawing some of the creases I see in the palm of the hand. Alright, now it's time to draw my watch. Okay, there we go. Alright, so you can see, notice, your attention please. How many lines did I use? No, one. Somebody had it. Good job, Angelique. One line.
But you took it off.
So, no, I can't, right here. I came back to, it's all one line. I did not lift my pen. Alright, so your challenge, when you're doing this process, it's important you don't peek at your paper. Don't worry about what it's going to look like at all. Just set that aside. This is about the process of observing and looking and trying to train your hand and eye to coordinate. Okay? So that's what's important in this, is that you're practicing connecting your hand and eye to work together and coordinate, so when your eye moves along the contour of something, your hand learns how to follow. And it helps develop your perceptual skills, where you're observing something in detail and understanding the angles, shapes, and lines and other details you might see. And forget you're drawing a hand. Okay, just like you were when we were drawing Picasso's portrait, you were forgetting it's a man and you were just observing the lines. Okay, so I want you to do this one time, and then I want you to flip it over, and I want you to reposition your hand and do it again to practice. And when you complete those, then you can work in your sketchbooks. Now, for these, this is what I'm looking for, is that you're actually using the slow, continuous contour line I was showing you, and that you're not sketching. And I'll be able to tell if you looked and cheated and looked at your paper. We'll be able to look at our papers later on in the following activities, but for this particular activity, you're not going to be looking at your paper, okay, because it's about the process. That you don't lift your pen, you're not erasing, you're using a pen, so you can't erase anyway. And that it's about life size. If you draw your hand really teeny tiny, it's going to be really impossible for you to get all the detail in. And it's hard when you just have to scale up or down. That creates an extra challenge when you're doing art. So it's important that you just try and keep it to the about life size. All right, so we're doing 2 of these in 2 different positions, completely blind. Questions? Yes. Yes, please get a new paper. If somebody maybe wants to grab paper for your whole table, that would be great. Help each other out. And all of these, you're holding on to them until we do all of them. There's more activities coming up. So just keep them in a folder.